Cancer ascendants, this video is for you, or if your moon is in the sign of Cancer, or you have a cluster of planets in the sign of Cancer, you can watch this video. Mercury is transiting in your first house. So let's see what it holds for you. So it was in Aadhra all along, the chaos of Rahu, and Rahu is transiting in your 8th house, and from there it moves to his friends. Well, Rahu and Mercury are also friends, but Aadhra Nakshatra can cause some chaos in people's lives. Some sudden transformations can happen in people's life, and from there it moves to the sign of Cancer. The Cancerians have this natural nurturing energy about them, right? A lot of Cancerians are seen from industries of servicing other people. They're providing some kind of service. The healthcare people can be seen, people who are into feeding other people, restaurant owners, looking after NGOs are all seen from Cancer energy. Very nice, loving people, caring people, very caring for their family and their friends. So but Mercury doesn't like being there. The reason why is because Mercury is about logic and analysis, right? Mercury signifies numbers, data, intelligence. It's a social. It's a very. Mercury signifies networking. All right. It signifies communication, and most people have a lot of difficulty communicating what their real feelings are. Your Cancer is all about feelings, your comfort level. Right? You can't have logic and emotions at the same time. So this is what this transit is all about. Logic, Mercury, Cancer is feelings, right? You can't put a number to how much you love someone. You can't put a number, you can't put it on a scale how you're feeling, right? It is always vague. So, which is why Mercury is not very comfortable there, but the results could be mixed. So we need to look at your charts and what Mahadasha you're going through, especially if you're going through Saturn Mahadasha, Moon Mahadasha, Mercury Mahadasha, and the Antardasha of these planets. The effects of what I'm saying are going to be more. So since Mercury is coming to the Ascendant, see, Mercury is also the sign of business. Mercury is also the sign, a lot of good real estate people, the ones that deal with two different parties, the ones who are into negotiating, is seen from there. So the positives of this transit is it is fantastic for people who are into any kind of real estate related industry, especially when it goes into Pushya Nakshatra, and it transits into Pushya on 25th. It goes to Ashlesha and then goes retrograde. So the retrograde dates, please make a note of it on the calendars. It is July 18th to August 11th. So Mercury going retrograde can give you communication related issues. See, it's happening in your first house. All right. And Cancer people can be overly emotional at times, especially when they're dealing with business people and their work people. So something that the Cancers need to work on, and maybe this transit can be very, very fruitful for you because Saturn is transiting 9th from you. So it's a great time so there's pending karma. Saturn is pointing out that you need to learn something. You need to learn something new. So those who are looking forward to get that degree or learn that thing that they always wanted to, this is a great time, especially the time when Mercury is in Pushya Nakshatra. See, the deity is Jupiter. And especially the ones who are into counseling, who are considering getting into online education or educating people, or getting into like any industry, the healthcare industry. Any industry where whatever you're doing is benefiting another human being or an animal. If you're trying to get into pet care, looking after animals, if you're trying to get into any industry which is good for older people, for children, counseling people, for underprivileged women, this is a fantastic time to get started. And this could also trigger long distance travel. All right. what you can do is, if you have a guru, or if you have a teacher, or you someone that you consider a guru, or someone that you consider a teacher, and if you had a conflict with that person, it's time to go mend those bonds and say, hey, listen, I've learned something from you. All right? And I'm not happy that we are having an argument. So I want to reach out to you and say that to you. All right? It's always good to do that. Now, what you need to be careful of is, you need to make sure that you do not have emotional outbursts, especially if you have planets like Mars in your first house, or if you have a hot planet like Sun in your first house, Rahu in the first house. Because if you have planets in the sign of Cancer, as Mercury passes by and then goes retrograde in those degrees, and if you have planets in those particular degrees, it will trigger certain events, especially if you're going through the Mahadashas and Antardashas of those planets. Okay? You need to also be very careful while signing contracts, signing new contracts about anything at all, especially the dates that I've given you when Mercury is retrograde. I'm going to repeat the dates. Mercury is going to be retrograde from July 18th to August 11th. So during those dates, if you have to sign something and there is nothing else you can do, make sure you read it very, very carefully. If you're sending texts and SMSs to your family members about things that you're not happy about, make sure that you're reading it a few times and not being overly emotional and texting. See, texting, writing emails, talking on the phone, this is all communication. It comes under communication. And like I said, Mercury in the sign of Cancer. Why Mercury doesn't like being in the sign of Cancer? Because Cancer is an emotional sign. And Mercury is about logic. So Mercury exalts in the sign of Virgo, which is all about analytics, data, numbers. All right, what planets does, which planet does good in Cancer? It is Moon itself. It is a planet like Jupiter, which is about higher knowledge. It's about nurturing other people. It's about education. So those are the planets that do well in the sign of Cancer. Okay? So Mercury is also the lord of your 12th house and your 3rd house. See, both these houses are not very good houses. So again, be careful about investments. Be careful about spending a lot of money on unnecessary things, because the house of expenses and hospitals are also seen. It's a great time to look after your health, especially your skin, your head related area, your hands, your feet. There could be an unnecessary expense in a hospital. I'm not saying it will be you, but it could be for someone else as well, because it is your 12th lord. Okay? Great time to reconnect with your younger siblings. Great time to the ones who are into the creative industry or into anything to do with communication. Like I said, yoga is definitely formed where you will travel either a short distance or a long distance travel is definitely seen in the next couple of months, especially when Mercury is there. The ones who are trying to make quick money, trading stocks, equities, day trading, intraday trading, cryptos, it's not a very good time, especially if especially if your Mercury and your Moon are not strong in your chart. If your Moon is exalted, yes, you can go ahead and try it. And if you think that you're a very good trader, you can do it. But if you're not, if you're just getting into it, it is time to learn, acquire more knowledge. Like I said, it's a great time to learn new things. Okay. You also must watch the other videos where I have mentioned the Rahu Transit, Rahu, Ketu and Mars Transit. I have made a bunch of videos in the last couple of months on transits. Rahu is transiting in your 8th house, so there will be sudden ups and downs. So no taking any decisions in haste, especially to do with your career, your family and relationship, because from there Mercury looks at your 7th house. So some people could suddenly, it could suddenly trigger marriage as well, especially if you have planets in the 1st and 7th house axis. All right. And if they have malefics in the 1st and 7th house axis, this transit could trigger a separation. So be a little careful in how you communicate. See, Mercury is about communication. Cancer is about emotion. So, you add these things. So you need to be very logical about how you communicate to get the best of this transit. That's all I have for you. I'm starting a Vedic astrology course on July 27th. Those who want to learn astrology, please get in touch, or you can refer this to your friends and family. If you like this video, hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. If you need a consultation, my information is right here. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.